Hey everyone! Welcome back to Money Cafe America, where we slow money down until it feels understandable.
Hey there, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Maya. Welcome to a fresh look at resetting your finances without any of the usual panic.
Honestly, my coffee isn't even working today because I accidentally opened my banking app this morning.
I hear you. But today is about clearing that fog, not staring at the damage.
That sounds good, but most online reset plans ask me to completely stop spending for a month.
Those extreme boot camps usually backfire because they expect people to act like perfect financial robots.
Oof! I always crash by day 4 and end up ordering takeout out of pure frustration.
That happens to a lot of people when the plan is too harsh instead of clear.
Yeah, you look at a fresh calendar page and just feel this immediate wave of guilt.
Exactly. We want that kitchen calendar to feel like a tool, not a list of your mistakes.
Well, right now it just looks like 30 days of things I can't afford to do.
Let's change that perspective today. We will focus on safe, general habits that fit your life.
Okay, I am definitely ready for less tracking and less daily stress.
Good. By the end of today, you will have a simple decision model to lower the noise.
That sounds a lot more useful than a giant, glowing spreadsheet on my computer.
We will also walk through 3 plain money terms that make a calendar reset feel doable.
Let's do it! I am absolutely ready for a much calmer month.
The problem with that glowing spreadsheet is that it expects you to be a completely different person overnight.
Yeah, it feels like I have to flip a switch and become perfectly disciplined.
And when you miss one day, the switch flips back, and the whole month feels ruined.
That is exactly what happens. I buy one coffee, and suddenly the reset is over.
That all-or-nothing pressure is what makes 30 days feel completely impossible.
So how do you actually reset without just failing by day 4?
Let's stop thinking about spending as an on-off switch.
Okay, what is the alternative?
Think of a money reset like a volume dial on a radio.
A volume dial?
Right. When the radio is too loud, you don't throw the whole machine out the window.
Well, I have definitely wanted to throw my phone out the window sometimes.
I completely understand that feeling. But practically, you just reach over and turn the dial down.
You just want it quiet enough to actually hear yourself think again.
Exactly. A 30-day reset is not about living in absolute silence with zero spending.
Oh, that makes so much sense. I always try to live in total silence.
Most people do, but turning the volume down slightly is a much more sustainable move.
Wait, that actually takes a lot of the initial guilt away instantly.
That is the plain rule here. A real reset means lowering the volume, not shutting down your life.
I like that rule a lot. It feels like I am allowed to still exist this month.
Keep this idea nearby for the next time your money stress starts feeling too loud.
I definitely will, because the stress usually hits before the month even begins.
The common mistake is reacting to that stress with a massive, punishing plan.
You tell yourself that you are never spending any extra money ever again.
People try to lower the volume on every single category of their life at once.
Exactly. No eating out, no subscriptions, no fun, no breathing.
Doing that requires a massive amount of mental energy.
Which I usually do not have after a long shift at work.
When you try to restrict everything, the financial noise actually gets louder.
Because you are constantly staring at the things you are not allowed to buy.
Yes, you spend your entire lunch break fighting yourself just to save $5.
That is honestly exhausting. It makes me completely dread checking my account.
A better way to think about a reset is picking just one frequency to turn down.
Just one? Like just focusing on coffee? Or just focusing on online shopping?
Exactly. You choose one specific, everyday spending habit to pause for 30 days.
So I leave the rest of the radio alone for the entire month?
Yes. It feels weird at first because we are taught that financial progress always has to hurt.
Wow, that is exactly what I thought. If I am not suffering, I am not saving.
When you only pause one habit, you give yourself the space to actually succeed.
You might not be avoiding the reset. You might just be avoiding the exhaustion of doing it perfectly.
That is a very accurate way to describe it. Normal life takes enough energy already.
It really does. Even a quiet week somehow costs more energy than you expect.
By lowering the volume on just one specific thing, you get the victory without the burnout.
I can see that working. Pausing just the food delivery apps doesn't feel like a punishment.
You prove to yourself that you have control, and the month actually feels peaceful.
That sounds like a 30-day plan I could actually finish without crashing.
Let's bring that idea of turning down the volume into normal life.
I definitely need that. The theory always sounds easier than the actual day.
That is the tricky part. We set a grand 30-day rule.
And then regular life happens and completely ruins the perfect plan.
Exactly. So let's look at how this works on a random Tuesday night.
Okay, my Tuesday nights are usually pretty quiet and slightly boring.
Picture yourself on the couch after a truly draining workday.
I know that feeling well. I am basically a walking zombie by 8.
Your brain is tired, so you start scrolling on your phone.
Yeah, just trying to unwind and not think about my job.
Before you know it, you are staring at a full online shopping cart.
Oof, the couch is exactly where my money usually goes to die.
It feels like a small, harmless reward for surviving the week.
It really does. You just want something nice to look forward to.
And your phone knows exactly what kind of shoes you were looking at.
Those targeted ads are designed to catch you when you are tired.
They absolutely are. The common mistake here is demanding absolute perfection.
Like swearing I will never buy a single non-essential thing ever again.
Yes, or completely deleting the shopping app in a sudden panic.
I have done that. Then I just reinstall it 3 days later.
Because the sudden silence is too loud. You still need to unwind.
So how do I turn the dial down without deleting everything entirely?
We focus on the checkout button that makes the choice feel easy.
That button is dangerous. It already knows all my shipping details.
Exactly. The app is designed to remove all the friction from buying.
I literally just double tap my screen and the money is completely gone.
To lower the volume on this habit, we have to add friction back.
Okay, what does intentional friction look like in that specific moment?
Go into the app settings and delete your saved credit card information.
Wait, you just want me to remove the card from the profile?
Yes, you force yourself to actually stand up to make the purchase.
So I have to walk across the room to find my wallet.
Exactly. That physical movement creates a deliberate pause in the process.
And usually, I am just too comfortable on the couch to bother.
That quick annoyance breaks the late-night trance.
It gives my logical brain a second to catch up with my thumb.
Right. It turns a mindless reflex into a conscious, intentional decision.
It does not mean I am completely forbidden from buying the item.
No. But if you are too tired to get up, you don't buy it.
I am definitely lazy at 9 at night. That is a clever trick.
The limitation is that it only works if you respect the friction.
Yeah, if I memorize my card numbers, the trick is totally ruined.
Exactly. Let the friction do its job and slow you down.
Okay, I like that. But what about when I am actually hungry?
Food is always the hardest category during any kind of financial reset.
It really is. The food delivery apps just mock my good intentions.
Let's talk about that moment in the middle of a busy work week.
Wednesday afternoon is usually when my willpower completely collapses.
You look in the fridge, and cooking feels like climbing a mountain.
Exactly. I just cannot face chopping an onion after a bad meeting.
So the delivery bag arrives, and you immediately feel guilty.
Especially when I have perfectly good food sitting at home.
You start calculating how many hours you worked just to pay for lunch.
Oh, I hate that math. It makes the sandwich taste terrible.
People usually try to fix this by swinging to the opposite extreme.
Like promising to meal prep every single Sunday for the rest of their life.
Yes, they buy $70 of fresh vegetables with great intentions.
And by Thursday, all those vegetables are just rotting in the crisper drawer.
That is what happens when you try to turn the volume to zero.
It takes way too much energy to sustain that kind of perfection.
A more realistic step is building a bridge for those low-energy days.
What do you mean by building a bridge?
A backup option that requires zero effort but costs less than delivery.
Like keeping a frozen pizza in the freezer for absolute emergencies?
Exactly. Or a frozen meal from the grocery store that you actually like.
But isn't the goal of a reset to stop buying processed stuff entirely?
That is where the trap is. You are trying to fix too much.
I mean, a frozen pizza is definitely not a health food.
We are fixing the financial leak right now, not your entire diet.
Oh, wow. I always try to fix my money and my health simultaneously.
And that is why it feels exhausting. We need to separate the goals.
That makes a lot of sense. Just handle one stressful thing at a time.
An $8 frozen meal is still much cheaper than a $30 delivery.
It lowers the volume on the spending without requiring me to cook.
Exactly. It catches you when your willpower is naturally depleted.
The limitation there is probably just remembering to actually stock the freezer.
Yes, you have to buy the backup plan while you still have energy.
If I wait until Wednesday, I am just going to order the sandwich anyway.
Exactly. And you must accept that the frozen meal won't be a gourmet experience.
I can live with that. It definitely beats the heavy delivery guilt.
There is one more area where a normal reset often falls apart.
Let me guess. It happens inside the actual grocery store.
Yes. Think about the classic quick trip to grab just 3 things.
The famous quick trip. It never actually stays small.
You walk in for milk, bread, and maybe some coffee beans.
And somehow I arrive at the checkout scanner with $80 of stuff.
The grocery store environment is literally built to distract you.
It works perfectly. They always put the best snacks right at eye level.
Even the lighting and the music are chosen to make you slow down.
That explains why I wander around aimlessly for 40 minutes.
The instinct is to just blame yourself for lacking financial discipline.
I stare at the receipt at the self-checkout and just feel stupid.
You watch the total climb and wonder how it happened again.
Every single time, it feels like a massive personal failure.
Willpower is finite. You cannot always outsmart a professionally designed store.
So how do you turn down the volume when you have to buy food?
For the 30-day reset, you change the environment completely.
Do I have to start shopping at a completely different place?
No, you just shift to using the grocery pickup option on their app.
Wait, like ordering it on my phone and driving up to the store?
Exactly. You sit on your couch and type in your exact list.
And then I just park outside and they put it in my trunk.
Yes, you never walk past the end caps, the bakery, or the snack aisles.
That completely eliminates the chance to impulse buy a bag of chips.
It forces you to only purchase what you actually plan to buy.
I hear that, but doesn't the store charge a fee for the pickup service?
Some do, and that is the practical limitation people always worry about.
Right. Paying an extra $3 feels like going backward on a budget.
But you have to compare that $3 fee to reality.
You mean comparing it to the $40 of random stuff I usually grab?
Exactly. The small fee protects you from the massive environmental trap.
That changes the math completely. The fee is actually a defense mechanism.
It is a small investment in protecting your future budget.
Plus, it probably saves me an hour of wandering around the store.
Exactly. You protect your money, but you also protect your time.
It lowers the volume of choices you have to make after a tired day.
You don't have to fight the store layout anymore.
This entire reset is about choosing an easier battle.
Instead of trying to become a flawless budgeting machine by tomorrow morning,
Here is hoping I can actually remember this when I am tired.
here is a concrete mini action you can try within 24 hours.
I am ready. Give me the simple small step.
Look at your normal week and pick just one dial to turn down.
So I don't try to fix the delivery, the groceries, and the online shopping all at once.
Pick just one. Delete the saved card or stock the emergency pizza.
So I deliberately ignore the other leaks for now?
Yes. Choose the habit that causes you the most quiet stress.
The one that makes me sigh the heaviest when I check my balance.
Exactly. Put a small barrier there and leave everything else alone.
Just pick the one that feels the most doable right now.
Yes. Once you prove you can control one dial, the others feel easier.
Honestly, just hearing that permission makes me feel a little more prepared.
So we have a few solid tools now.
Yeah. Deleting the saved cards, keeping a backup meal, and using grocery pickup.
Those are all ways to turn the spending dial down without ruining your week.
It honestly feels much less punishing than a total spending freeze.
Let's test how you would use that mindset in a slightly harder situation.
Okay, I am ready. Throw the real-life scenario at me.
It is week 2 of your 30-day reset.
Oh no, week 2 is usually when my motivation completely disappears.
Right. And your friends invite you to a last-minute dinner on a Thursday night.
That is my absolute worst nightmare during a strict budgeting month.
How do you handle that invitation using this new dial method?
Well, normally I would just say no and sit at home feeling miserable.
But you know that total silence usually causes a massive spending binge later.
That is true. I guess I could go, but just order an appetizer and water.
I love that you are still planning to actually attend the dinner.
Yeah, sitting at home scrolling social media for 30 days is just too depressing.
That is the perfect instinct. Isolation ruins a financial reset faster than anything else.
But I still feel like the appetizer plan is a little awkward.
It can be. It is hard to sit there while everyone else orders huge meals.
Exactly. You feel like everyone is silently judging you for being cheap.
Here is the small fix. You don't always have to order the cheapest thing.
Wait, I don't?
No, you can order a normal meal and turn the dial down somewhere else later.
Oh, like intentionally skipping the coffee shop the next morning to balance it out?
Exactly. You choose where to spend the energy.
I would much rather have dinner with friends than a morning coffee alone.
That is a very honest trade. You are directing the money where it matters most.
I like that, but honestly, it still feels like I am juggling a lot of categories.
That is a very normal reaction when you first start adjusting things.
It brings up a financial phrase I hear a lot but never truly understand.
What is the phrase you keep hearing?
People talk about cutting discretionary spending during these reset months.
That is a great place to start. That is actually our first term.
So what does that actually mean in plain English?
Discretionary spending is simply your flexible money.
Meaning the money left over after my rent and the power bill are paid?
Exactly. It is the money for things you want, not the things you absolutely need.
Like takeout, streaming services, or those targeted ads on my phone.
Yes, it also includes hobbies, travel, and that random coffee shop run.
So basically, all the fun stuff that makes life bearable.
Exactly. It matters because this flexible category is the only dial you can actually turn down.
That makes sense. I cannot exactly negotiate my rent payment on a random Tuesday.
Right. A reset should only focus on that flexible money.
Okay, that helps. It narrows the whole battlefield down to just one category.
But even inside that category, if you try to fight every single battle, you hit our second term.
Let me guess. It is a term for why I feel so incredibly tired?
Yes, you hit decision fatigue very quickly.
That sounds exactly like what happens to me by Thursday afternoon.
Decision fatigue is the draining of your willpower after making too many choices.
So it is a real thing, not just me being lazy?
It is very real. Your brain literally runs out of energy to make good choices.
Like choosing not to buy a coffee, then choosing not to buy lunch.
Yes, by the time dinner rolls around, your brain just gives up entirely.
And that is exactly why I end up ordering the most expensive delivery meal.
It matters, because a calm reset should actually reduce your daily choices.
Not add 50 new tiny, exhausting choices to my day.
Right. If the plan relies entirely on your willpower, the fatigue will always win.
Which leads us to the tool that prevents that fatigue from taking over.
Exactly. We need a way to protect your choices.
Is there a financial term for making things intentionally annoying?
Yes, there is. Our third term is adding friction to your habits.
Friction is basically just a speed bump for my wallet, right?
Exactly. Friction is any intentional step that slows down an automatic spending habit.
Like forcing myself to walk across the room to get my physical credit card.
Yes. Or having to drive to the grocery store to pick up the digital order.
So the friction does the hard work for me when I am tired?
It matters, because friction protects you when your willpower is completely gone.
It steps in, right when that decision fatigue peaks.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfectly disciplined if the friction is strong enough.
That is a massive relief. I really cannot rely on my own discipline every single day.
Most people cannot. Relying on perfect discipline is a trap.
So, the goal is managing my flexible money with better speed bumps.
That is exactly the right way to think about it.
That changes everything. It feels like I can actually survive 30 days of this without quitting.
Let's test this friction idea on something we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, I am ready for the challenge.
You decide your 30-day reset includes cutting back on random digital subscriptions.
That hits close to home. I have a serious weakness for streaming services.
You are feeling the decision fatigue on a Sunday night.
And an ad for a new premium movie channel pops up on my screen.
Exactly. How do you handle that using the volume dial method?
I would probably just cancel all my streaming services at once to be safe.
That is a very common reaction, but it misses one important detail.
Wait, isn't canceling everything the ultimate form of a financial reset?
It is a strong move, but mass canceling takes a lot of mental energy.
Yeah, I usually get overwhelmed finding the passwords and just give up halfway.
Exactly. You drain your willpower before the week even starts.
And then I end up keeping all of them because it is just too hard.
Plus, going from 4 services to 0 means your downtime becomes completely silent.
Which means I will probably just get bored and sign up for something more expensive.
Exactly. So how do you turn the dial down without exhausting yourself?
Okay, instead of a massive purge, I just pick one service I barely watch.
That is the perfect start. You leave the others alone for now.
Out of sight, out of mind. But how do I add friction to the ads?
What is a small speed bump you could put between yourself and a new subscription?
I could turn off the one-click billing option on my television.
That is perfect. You don't delete the app, but you make paying annoying.
If I have to type my credit card with the remote, I will definitely quit.
The friction does the hard work for you.
It actually protects me from my own laziness. I love that.
How would you set that up on a normal day?
I would probably just change the settings tomorrow morning while drinking my coffee.
Doing it in the morning when your energy is high is the best move.
Because if I wait until the evening, I will just accidentally subscribe again.
Let's turn this into a simple action plan for anyone starting a reset.
Keep it small, because my brain is still slightly scared of 30-day challenges.
First, pick just one flexible spending category that feels a little too loud right now.
So I just focus on one thing, like takeout or late-night online shopping.
Yes, leave the rest of your budget completely alone for this month.
That immediately lowers the pressure. What is the second step?
Choose one small speed bump to place in front of that specific habit.
Like removing the saved credit card or using the grocery pickup app.
Exactly. Make the automatic choice slightly more annoying to complete.
Okay, I have my one category and my one speed bump.
Third, decide right now what you will do when you feel the urge to spend.
You mean having a backup plan for when my willpower inevitably crashes on Wednesday?
Yes, stock the emergency frozen pizza while you still have the energy to care.
Having the decision already made is the best kind of relief.
That is a real plan. I would love to know which dial people are picking.
Me too. You can write one word in the comments to tell us your focus.
Share the specific habit you want to add a little friction to this month.
Just type coffee, clothes, delivery, or subscriptions in the comments.
Just naming the target makes the whole 30-day idea feel less intimidating.
It really does. I actually feel like I can start this without instantly failing.
Keep that one-word comment in mind. Naming the problem is a valid action.
It really helps to know exactly what is draining my energy first.
A calmer month starts with just identifying the loudest financial noise.
Just remember to set up that one small speed bump while you still have energy.
You don't have to fix your entire budget today to make real progress.
Leaving the rest of the money alone takes so much pressure off the week.
A 30-day reset should give you some breathing room, not a daily guilt trip.
That is a much better way to look at a calendar.
Thanks for sitting down with us today at Money Cafe America. I'm Maya. Take care of yourself.
And I'm Ethan. Bye for now, and just take it one step at a time.